Welcome to NFL Imperialism, debuting on Madden 25. Starting from their home state, it is each team's objective to attack and expand their territory until only one team remains. Team selection will be through a random wheel, and attacking direction through this arrow pointer. Contact with another team's territory results in a head-to-head game, with the winner eliminating the other team and stealing that team's best player. An arrow to an unclaimed state will reward that said team with the best player in the free agent pool, including players from previously eliminated teams. Now, power-ups, of course, will be returning to the series. Today's catalog includes Afterlife, Clone, Double Trouble Bandit, and 3 new entries: Blitz, Bloom, and Prisoner of War. Disasters will as well be making a long-awaited return. A disaster is triggered in increments of 8 teams being eliminated. Disasters act as attributes that can affect the entire map. Dead Rising is first, followed by Tornado, and then Meteor Shower. And one more thing, this is the 10th episode in the NFL Imperialism mainline series, which means we will have updated stats and standings at the conclusion of today's episode. And that just about covers everything, so let's begin by placing our power-ups on the map. If my voice sounds off, that's because I'm battling a cold right now, but that is the least important battle today. Our first power-up today will be Prisoner of War. Which state will it be going to? It's going to Nebraska. Next selection goes to Bandit, landing on the unclaimed state of New Jersey. Continuing on with the power-up of Blitz, that's going to the state of South Carolina. And then the wheel will land on Clone, which will be going to Arkansas. 3 more remaining, picking up with Afterlife. And our second life power-up will be going to Kansas. Final 2 power-ups, we're going to Bloom. The flower power is going to Virginia, which just leaves us with Double Trouble, which is going to find home on the state of Iowa. Well, it looks like today's nepotism babies was the Mississippi Plains region and the East Coast. Not a lot of love for our West Coast today. Well, of course, it wouldn't be an Imperialism episode without the Broncos bordering at least 1 power-up, but this time make it 2. Also, not trying to spoil what the Bloom power-up does, but the Washington Commanders are an absolutely perfect team to be bordering this power-up. That being said, all 7 power-ups are placed. We can officially begin turn number 1. Well, this is where the downfall begins. Turn number 1, with all 32 teams remaining, we're going to the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota begins their campaign by attacking towards the right, which gives us our first battle of the day, the Vikings versus the Packers at Lambeau Field. Well, the Minnesota Vikings have held their ground against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers as we've made it to overtime. 2nd and 12 for the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold's gonna run for it. Can he get the 3rd down? No, he fumbles it, and the Packers pick up the football. Didn't take long at all. We have new celebrations as well. Kenny Clark with a fumble recovery. The Packers just need 3. Hopefully they don't get too greedy. They're gonna pass the football, but we have a first down completion. The Musgrave, and he has a touchdown? Yes, overtime winner for the Green Bay Packers. Ain't nothing to smile about in Minnesota. JJ McCarthy got injured, Jordan Addison got injured. I imagine Justin Jefferson's requesting a trade as we speak, or in this case, he can pack his bags and move across the neighborhood street to Green Bay. I imagine a lot of you guys are thinking it's suspicious that the Packers won the first game, considering that there's a Jordan Love and a Packers flag behind me. Do not worry, there's gonna be no bias or scripting in this video at all, I believe. I also like how I use that exact same game in my intro footage, but we're going to the Houston Texans. They are sandwiched against the Cowboys and the Saints. Who's it going to be? I believe New Orleans. And similar to Hurricane Katrina, a huge threat just made landfall in New Orleans. We're traveling to Caesars Superdome. If CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans can break the plane, we might have another overtime game as they trail by a touchdown after getting this first down to the 33. 2-minute warning stops the clock. CJ Stroud will attack in the air once again, floats this one up for a completion of 5 yards to Stephon Diggs. Doesn't accomplish much, but we'll stay in the air. This time we'll get the first down to Dalton Schultz. Offensive weapons all across the board in Houston. Another first down after they called their first timeout, and a touchdown, which is going to tie this game up for Houston. This time it's Nico Collins. 3 different receivers involved on this drive. But maybe Derek Carr and the Saints can respond. First down to the 27, and no, he fumbles the football as well, and the Houston Texans will pick it up. Well, if I've learned anything from Madden 25 so far, I guess quarterbacks have absolutely 0 ball awareness. Houston only walked out of this opportunity with the field goal, which means Derek Carr will get the football back. Maybe he'll hold on to it this time. 43 seconds remaining from the 34. Derek Carr gets the sun off, and we have a completion to the 35. And with that completion, the Saints are well in range to kick a field goal to take us to overtime, tied at 34. So the Saints will start the football in this extra quarter as Alvin Kamara takes the handoff. Another fumble. What is up with fumbles today? Thankfully, the Saints recover, but that's a 3rd fumble we've seen today, and this is only the 2nd game. Derek Carr, 3rd down and 2. He's going to get sacked if he doesn't grab the football, and he just throws it out of bounds. And now CJ Stroud will get the ball back in overtime, and he's going to start with a first down completion to Dalton Schultz across midfield. I lied, that's actually Noah Brown. Here's Joe Mixon with some great blocks as he has a first down to the 30. All they need is a field goal. They better not mess us up. CJ Stroud once more, and that's a touchdown. This time it actually is Dalton Schultz. Another overtime walk-off. So the Texans will win 40-34, which will lend a defensive X factor to Houston and Demario Davis. The Saints truly do deserve better, but I imagine any team's going to struggle against the Houston Texans today. Their offense is just high flying. Packers and Texans strike first blood. They're very similar teams, but here's the Dallas Cowboys. Could Texans be involved in back-to-back battles? Don't think so. Instead, the Cowboys will give us our first expansion today, traveling west to New Mexico, and this will be our first free agent pickup through expansion, and since the Saints were just eliminated, all their best players hit the free agent pool, which now means Marshawn Lattimore is now a Dallas Cowboy. Cowboys actually have a pretty insane secondary. Here's the Baltimore Ravens. Will the Ravens be able to walk out of this with an expansion? Ooh, it's a possibility. Yeah, they just managed to cross the Chesapeake Bay into Delaware for an expansion, which will give Baltimore a slight improvement at the free safety position with Justin Simmons. Ravens and Cowboys are two teams you do not want to see expanding. Here's the Jacksonville Jaguars. As you might know, Florida teams are like Sisyphus pushing that rock up that hill. They are constantly fighting an uphill battle because they're in between absolutely everything and they can't escape. They have to play somebody, so whatever it's closest to, the Falcons or Buccaneers, will be their matchup. Not saying the Jaguars can't win these games, as they're going to be traveling down to the Buccaneers. Well, first Florida team is bound to be eliminated. Who will remain? I have no clue what's up with all these overtime games today, but if the Jaguars want to stay alive for 6, they need this first down, which they just got to the 22. But it will be another third down and long for the Jaguars. Can the Buccaneers force one final stop? Nobody is on Evan Ingram as he dives for the pylon. Jaguars have a lead. And this is overtime playoff format, so first touchdown does not end the game. Here's Baker Mayfield completing a pass to Chris Godwin. Gotta go for it, of course. Mayfield, the pass has a completion. Chris Godwin, can he break 2 tackles? He can get past 1. First and goal at the 9. They were able to call a timeout with 3 seconds left from the 9. Mayfield on a cross, and there's a touchdown to tie the game up with zeros on the board. Now it's next to score wins as Trevor Lawrence fakes a handoff, runs play action. Here's a completion and getting some more yards off the run after the catch to the 36. Could very well be the end of Tampa Bay today. They need a third down stop. They don't get it, and they decide to kick the field goal early. This is how the Jaguars will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and take control of Middle Florida. So Mr. 1,000 yards will be packing his bags and moving to Jacksonville. And you know, I gotta feel bad for Tampa Bay. They've been historically bad in Imperialism, but so have the Jaguars, so that's really not saying that much. It really doesn't help the fact that essentially the Buccaneers are a Florida sandwich. Here's the Tennessee Titans. Possible matchups to be played, but more than likely an expansion. And by going up north, it'll reward them with Kentucky. So the Titans will tag along the former Buccaneer Antoine Winfield, leading us to our next selection, which will be the Seattle Seahawks. That's a free expansion. I'm not joking when I say that. They share no borders with anybody. I believe that's going to Idaho. And by traveling east, they'll be doing exactly that, which will displace another former Buccaneer, this time Levante David, going to Seattle. Plenty of expansions, but no power-ups yet. Here is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are another team who's been historically bad in this series, but they'll be going up north. I mean, in the defense of Pittsburgh, look at this region. This time it's going to be the Buffalo Bills trying to defend their land against the Steelers. It's no surprise the Bills are struggling in this game, considering Josh Allen has to throw to Walmart cashiers, but maybe he can convert one. Here he can. First down to the 46. Exactly 90 seconds remaining to find the end zone. This is going to be 10 yards and some more as we get inside the 20. Brings us down to 60 seconds. Can Pittsburgh get one more stop against Buffalo? They cannot, and the Bills just need an extra point to take the lead. Russell Wilson is the current listed starter in Madden 25. Can he capitalize by getting some points on the board? We have a completion that's going to be inside the 10-yard line for Pittsburgh and falling at the 2. This is take 2, this time from the 1-yard line. Warren has it again. He has a touchdown, and the Steelers take a lead. Going for 2, of course, to make it a 7-point game. Wilson to pass, easy. No one even on him. That's their final timeout, however, so Josh Allen has to work the clock. He's doing a good job of it right now as we get out of bounds at the 21 with 21 seconds. Brings us to 2nd and 10 with 16 seconds left. Josh Allen's going to float this one up through the goalpost. It's good. I feel like you should get some points for doing that. Let's create a new NFL rule. 3rd down and 10 with 10 seconds left. Allen takes a sack. They can't stop the clock. And TJ Watt would end up putting an end to this game. The Steelers will finally walk out of a matchup against the Bills with a win. I feel like we've never seen this. Now, in the past, I never allowed quarterback swaps, but I actually changed that last episode, which means Josh Allen will be joining the Pittsburgh Steelers. That definitely solves their quarterback issue. I might speak too soon here, but could this be the first episode the Steelers finally make it out of the Northeast alive? Okay, real quick, I just realized I've been using the old outdated map, so I went ahead and switched over to the new one, but don't worry, not much has changed. It just has updated colors and graphics and logos, just looks a lot better. So if you're wondering why things might look different, that's the reason why. So continuing on with turn number 5, we're going to the New England Patriots. New England will be attacking towards their north. This is an expansion up to New Hampshire. This will grant the linebacker Matt Milano to New England, and I am sure everybody is absolutely threatened by this expansion. Here's the Indianapolis Colts. I'm interested to see how this team performs today as they go down south, and by doing so, the Colts will be taking on a division rival in the Tennessee Titans. Looks as the Colts only need a couple of first downs, starting with this one on 3rd down and 5. Anthony Richardson through the air. He gets the first down to the 31. They're going to have to do that one more time as they hand it off to Jonathan Taylor with the run game that picks up 5. First time out timeout called by Tennessee. Another handoff to Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be 3rd and short. Last chance for Tennessee to get a stop. Jonathan Taylor breaks out of some tackles. He has the first down. No timeouts left in the hands of the Titans. And here's Anthony Richardson taking the final knee for a Colts victory, 24-21. You know, this says a lot about the Titans' current roster because their best player they had was Antoine Winfield, which they got from an expansion, but he's now an Indianapolis Colt. You know, I gotta say, it is a complete breath of fresh air to see teams like the Colts, Steelers, and Jaguars snag a win. I'm used to them getting bounced in the very first game they play. 6 turns in, and I'm already changing clothes. Here's the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta will take their attack towards, I believe, South Carolina, which will give us our first power-up activation today in Blitz. This is what it does. So Blitz can be seen as a good or a bad thing, depending on the situation. So for the Atlanta Falcons, they get to go twice in a row now. This can happen when they're landed on by the wheel, or if they have a successful defense, they go right after that. Let's just hope in the case for Atlanta, it doesn't end up costing them that they have to go twice in a row. So of course, this is still an expansion, which means they add a player from the free agent pool, this time being L'Jarius Sneed. And you guessed it, the Falcons are going again. They're going towards the northwest, which is going to clip through the north part of Alabama, giving them back-to-back expansions on their blitz attack, which will reward Atlanta with their second player being Tristan Wirfs. I'd say no complaints for Atlanta on that turn. Here's the Kansas City Chiefs. They share a border with 4 power-ups. I imagine it's going to land on one of them. I mean, go figure, this power-up was handed to them on a silver platter, which of course is Afterlife, the most simplest to explain. The Chiefs will get a second life. Yeah, we're starting to run out of possible player expansion steals. Tyrann Mathieu will be going back to Arrowhead. Expansions are cool and whatnot, but we need somebody to lose, including the New England Patriots, who then more than likely will expand because that's all they do in this series. Hold up. Yeah, the moment I saw that arrow, I imagined there was a chance we get a matchup, which we do. It's going to be the Patriots traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey against the Jets. Wow, the Rodgers fall off is crazy. There is no way he's struggling with the post-Tom Brady Patriots. He only has 30 seconds left, but he's done stuff crazier than that. Here's a timeout, a catch to the 38. Rodgers now with no timeouts and 25 seconds left. Another completion. I think this is going to be the touchdown they need to tie this game up at 21. Who else better to do it than Garrett Wilson as well, wide receiver number 1 in New York. I could only imagine it's Aaron Rodgers making this play call. They want to go for 2 to win the game right here, and no! What are you doing? Just kick the extra point. And now here's an onside kick, which I have a more likely higher chance to have $1 million in my pocket tomorrow than actual conversion here. Patriots easily get this. I'm telling you, man, those escapist spiritual trips that Rodgers be taking, man, they do horrible things to his brain. And now we might have to endure a possible Patriots run in today's video, winning against the Jets 21-20. That facial expression on Sauce Gardner's face is exactly how I'd react if I got demoted to the New England Patriots. Man, the Rodgers haters are gonna love this one. That's another game to add to the long resume of so-called Rodgers chokes. But at least the Jets could always return. Not like I want to see them again. But here's the Cleveland Browns. Browns are another team that just have an absolutely horrible starting position. I think this is going to be the Battle of Ohio. And it will be. I feel like we see this matchup every single game. It's going to be Cincinnati taking on Cleveland. Looks like Joe Burrow has some work to do. Has to respond with a touchdown down by 4 to the Cleveland Browns. Here's the first down and getting to the 41. Keep in mind, no Nick Chubb for Cleveland, so kind of impressive they have a lead today. Staying in the flat, another first down for the Bengals to the 25. Held to a 3rd down and 3. Another pass for Joe Burrow. Do they even run the football? Somehow Burrow escapes this, but he throws an interception. What was he looking at? Are you telling me Myles Garrett came up with that pick? I don't know what's weirder, Burrow throwing an interception here or Myles Garrett being lined up at cornerback. What is he doing on this side of the field? I mean, usually it's Deshaun Watson forcing balls where they shouldn't be, not Joe Burrow. Sorry, that's a classic. Had to throw that one in. Here's a handoff to Jerome Ford, and he has the first down. Cincinnati calls their second timeout, which unfortunately for the Bengals would put an end to this game, with the Browns winning 26-22. And considering that Joe Burrow somehow got intercepted by Myles Garrett playing cornerback, I think Jamar Chase was a better choice here. It is refreshing to see the Browns take care of the Bengals. I feel like the Bengals always walk away with this one. Only one more elimination needed until our first disaster. Could it be the Dolphins? It's very much possible, and it doesn't help that the Miami Dolphins literally have 0 choices other than to play the Jaguars, completely surrounded on this peninsula, and they have to attack into Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs to respond with 6 if they want to hold their ground. Trevor Lawrence has the first down to the 32. Past a 2-minute warning, and Trevor Lawrence is going to be intercepted by Jalen Ramsey, which will be returned to the house for a pick 6. I'd like to imagine that's the complete opposite of holding your ground. Well, at least more than likely the Jaguars will get one of those touchdowns back, which of course will obviously mean nothing if they cannot get this onside kick conversion, which they will not. Which means the Jaguars will lose 28-23, which means the Dolphins will now take the new legal name change, Josh Hines Allen. Unfortunately, I can't make that same Josh Allen joke anymore. And this will result in one team taking control of all of Florida, that being the Dolphins. So now, like I previously said, with 8 teams eliminated, something is about to happen. It's our first disaster This one is a zombie apocalypse. It's called Dead Rising. So this one's pretty simple. Essentially, 2 of the 8 teams that have been eliminated so far are going to get a chance to come back by random selection, and they're going to land on a random territory. So shown here is a wheel of the 8 teams that have been eliminated so far. 2 of them are going to be lucky to come back, starting with this first one, which is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. So now here's a wheel with the 14 remaining unclaimed territories. Whatever it lands on, the Cincinnati Bengals will begin a new empire on the state of Utah. Now, what other team will be lucky enough to return today? It's going to be the New Orleans Saints. It won't be New Orleans anymore. Where is their new home? Vermont? Truth be told, Imperialism is a game about luck. I mean, it's all about random chances and spins. So the Bengals and Saints definitely got that side of the game. The Bengals didn't even lose Joe Burrow, so they still have a chance to do some damage. As for the Saints, they lost a few players, but they're bordering the Giants and Patriots. Is that really that life-threatening? This puts us back up to 26 total teams, and we're going back to the Falcons, who get to go twice in a row. That's if they can survive the first turn, which they will be traveling up the East Coast, which I'd like to imagine they would survive this game against the Carolina Panthers. Well, this is a little embarrassing, but I'll give the Falcons some credit because this is a division opponent, but they have the lead after this touchdown, 30-28. Forget that Rondale Moore caught that touchdown pass. I think he's out for the year. Don't worry about it. We do know that Bryce Young's got a lot bigger in the offseason, and by bigger, I do not mean taller. I'd like to imagine that punting the football would probably be better for the Panthers here because they do have timeouts, but they're going to go for it on 4th down and 6. I guess it paid off. Just outside field goal range with 50 seconds remaining. This is going to give them even closer with a first down. Make it 2nd and 3 with 40 seconds remaining. Another completion. Do not tell me the Panthers find the end zone here. Oh, how did he not stay on his feet? Good things the ghost of Atlanta's just tripped up Tommy Tremble for no reason right there. Panthers have one more shot to find the end zone more than likely, and they get it. Oh my goodness, Atlanta. First round pick Xavier Legette with the touchdown. Sure, Patrick Mahomes might needed 13 seconds, but Kirk Cousins, he only needed 9. The first play from the 24, not looking too good. Okay, he only needs 5 seconds now. You just gotta throw this ball up and hope for pass interference. That's if you even get it off or not. The ball is out of his hands, and it's actually caught, but couldn't break the 1 tackle, and the Atlanta Falcons had 1 job and could not get it done, which means the Panthers will take over what I believe is the highest rated safety in this game, Jesse Bates. And you just gotta think how disappointing. The blitz power-up could have been really good. I think it was just in the wrong hands today. I'm gonna definitely have to bring it back in the future. The Panthers have always been a surprising team in Imperialism, dating back to the very first episode. Here's the Indianapolis Colts again. Well, let's just see what the Colts do for their second game today as they head towards the East Coast. And by doing so, it gives them a head-on collision with the Cleveland Browns. Anthony Richardson and the Colts have gone band for band against the Cleveland Browns. They just need this first down, but they couldn't get it. It was deflected at the line. So Deshaun Watson back on the field from the 26. He has a first down on a slant and could have been a house call if it wasn't for the safety to step up to make that tackle. 90 seconds to go from the 44. Deshaun Watson has another completion on a highly contested catch. They're well in field goal range, but obviously they want a touchdown, but they're going to get neither as Deshaun Watson throws an interception. Man, I should have saved that joke for this instance right here. And unfortunately, the Browns just got way too greedy. Should have ran the football a little bit, so the Colts will come out victorious in a high-scoring game. So the Colts will take the best cornerback we've seen today in Myles Garrett, which I'd say solidifies the Colts as a legitimate threat in the Great Lakes region. Back up to 24 total teams, we're going to New York. The Giants, that is, as they travel towards, I believe, Vermont. Well, it looks like the Saints are wasting no time. They're back, and they're going to be playing a home game. Even though they're in Vermont, we're going back to New Orleans to play this game between the Giants and Saints. Well, how nice for the Texans to lend back some of their land to the Saints. A first down inside the 30 for the Saints. There's also a flag. If the Giants don't want a chance, they need to hold the Saints from not picking up a first down here. That's a good start as Giants call timeout number 1. Can they do it 2 more times? Another handoff to Kamara. He has the first down. He has the touchdown. Do they score too early though? I don't think scoring too early is the problem. Scoring at all is the problem for the Giants. Can they at least get a first down here? That's a pickup of 7. I do believe the Giants are currently the worst rated team in Madden right now at 75. The Saints are not too far ahead though. Here's the first down to the 38. Daniel Jones has actually been cooking on this drive, and he has another first down, somehow threads the needle. Unfortunately, the Giants were stuck to a 4th down and 10 with only 18 seconds remaining, so Daniel Jones has to step up and find something, which he does, but he can find the end zone. No, stopped at the 2 with 12 seconds remaining. If they take a sack or can't break the plane, this game is over. With 10 seconds remaining, it's going to be a pass, and it is a touchdown. Giants can tie it up with an extra point. What's up with New York teams today? They as well want to win it on a 2-point conversion, and this time, they're going to get it. Take notes, Aaron Rodgers. What a way to win. Maybe Derek Carr can respond back. They have 9 seconds and 2 timeouts. That's actually a good start. They call a timeout. Actually, they don't need to. There was a flag. It was offside on the defense, so the play stands. They're going to get one shot at the end zone from the 50-yard line. Never mind. And what an impressive impressive drive to win the game for the New York Giants. I was not expecting that whatsoever. Unfortunately, the best player I could give the Giants from the Saints was Chris Olave, but luckily for the Giants, it's actually a huge upgrade. You know, I'd like to imagine that there would have been other teams selected by Dead Rising who probably would have done better than the Saints today. Embarrassing? Here's the Raiders. This just made me realize how the West Coast has barely even been touched today. I mean, look at California. All three teams still remain, but that doesn't matter because the Raiders are going the complete opposite direction as they take on the other Dead Rising team, the Bengals. Well, Gardner Minshew has to go 70 yards and a 2-point conversion. That's like 5 of them right there. So at the 2-minute warning, 3 yards needed. They're going to run the football. Interesting decision, but it pays off, and there's going to be much more picked up on the ground to the 41. So now down to 1:30. They stay short of Devontae Adams, but he gets the first down after breaking 3 tackles. Minshew Mania is coming back right now. He wants to run for it. Never mind, we are not back. So 3rd down and 7 from the 23. Completion inside the 5. Now they just got to find the end zone twice. One with a touchdown, one with a 2-point conversion, and they couldn't get the touchdown there, so they burned their final timeout. I wonder if they decide to run the football. They will not. Trying to find an end zone, and no, it's intercepted. Why is this a common issue today? Why are we seeing end zone interceptions? You could just run the football there. Devontae Adams completely pickpocketed, and the Bengals will walk away with a victory. Final score 31-23. And yes, Max Crosby is rated better, but they need a replacement since they lost Jamar Chase earlier on. And I believe the Raiders are the first team eliminated west of Texas. Kind of crazy. It was already hard to survive on the West Coast, but now it's even harder. The Denver Broncos are up next. They border the Bengals, so we could see them twice in a row. Don't think so. Well, you couldn't have got a better arrow than that. The Broncos will begin an expansion into Nebraska for our next power-up. It's going to be Prisoner of War. So how does this power-up work? It's actually kind of cool. Essentially, every time this team is going to get ready to play a game, they get to spin a wheel with all remaining teams, and they get to borrow a player from the team it lands on. However, they cannot keep that player. They have to give him back after they win or lose. Now, Denver will get a player they will get to keep for this expansion, that being Max Crosby. Definitely interested to see how this power-up will play out for them in the future. Here's the Dallas Cowboys. So their attacking arrow will land towards the north, and looks like we'll have back-to-back expansions since the Cowboys will take control of the panhandle of Oklahoma, which means Jamar Chase will team up with CeeDee Lamb in a stacked receiving room in Dallas. This now means the Cowboys share a border with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are staying out west with the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals could attack the Cowboys here, but instead they're going towards the West Coast, which takes them into Southern California for Chargers territory. This is probably the best possible matchup the Cardinals could have got here. Not a lot of points to go around for both these teams, so Kyler Murray has to get at least 4 points here on this drive with a first down to the 40. Here's an early 3rd down on this drive for the Cardinals. 3rd down and 6 from the 44. Murray's going to throw on the run, lobbing it up on the right sideline. Double coverage, not going to get the completion he wants. This forces a 4th down and 6, which he needs to convert, and they will do so. 1st down and 10 to the 44. I believe Marvin Harrison with a catch. Another pass on 1st down, another completion to the 24. Cardinals only 10 yards away from hitting the end zone, which they're going to get close here as it's going to be a pickup to the 2. I feel like they should probably run the football, but instead staying in the air, I guess it works out. The Cardinals have a touchdown. And of course, it's the rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. Not the greatest start in this drive as Justin Herbert started with a sack and he's having another incompletion to make it 3rd and 22. Well, now just make it 4th down and 22. Can they at least get all of it back? They can't get any of it. A sack, and the Cardinals will take control of the football. And so Cardinals will walk out a win 20-14. And so Derwin James will be moving to Arizona. And it only took us into 13 turns, but our first California team is finally eliminated. This brings us to 21 teams. We're going to the Washington Commanders. They do border a power-up. If they go southwest, they'll get it. That's going southwest. And by going southwest from their little hunk of land in the district, they take control of Virginia and get the new Bloom power-up. Now, this is why I said earlier the Commanders are a perfect team to be bordering this power-up. Essentially, the highest rated or highest drafted rookie on this team will become a true 99 overall, and you can only guess who that's going to be. And that, of course, is the new rookie QB1 in Washington, Jaden Daniels. Everything maxed out to a 99 overall. And as for their players still for the expansion, actually a really solid pickup for Commanders because their O-line last year was horrendous. It's going to be Tristan Wirfs. And just like that, everybody is scared of the Commanders. Here's the New England Patriots. Will the Patriots be able to escape with another expansion? Don't think so. So this will land on a Patriots-Giants battle in the Northeast. I'm not going to lie, this is like the least anticipated Imperialism matchup of all time. I mean, look at the Giants. They're already winning by like 20 points right now. They close out winning 27-3. And somebody please pray for this man. He's had to play for the Patriots, the Jets, and now the Giants. I would say I'm impressed with the Giants today, but they've only been picking on people their own size. They need some competition. And this brings us to a milestone today because we have our top 20 remaining teams on the map right now. So with 20 remaining, we are going to Cincinnati. Well, it's not actually in Cincinnati. They actually own Nevada as they go up north. And this ends up being a direct contact with Idaho under the control of the Seattle Seahawks Seahawks, giving us a matchup between the Seahawks and the Bengals out west. Never thought I'd say that. Bengals need 3, but they could use 7, handing the football off. That's a touchdown. It's going to make it 27-24 with a Bengals lead. Moss with a touchdown. So 3rd and 4 with 40 seconds left. Geno Smith firing downfield, incomplete, deflected. It's going to be 4th and 4. Final chance for Geno and the Seattle Seahawks. It's a first down. I imagine they call a timeout. Make it 13 seconds left on 2nd and 10. Looks like Geno Smith's just going to take a long shot for DK Metcalf, but it's going to be broken up. I see 1 or 2 final plays left in the Seahawks. I imagine Geno Smith has just want to take an end zone shot. This is probably the final play. Is somebody out there? No. 0's on the board. The Bengals win. So middle linebacker Levante David will join the Bengals. And the Bengals are currently the most threatening team out west. I'm pretty sure this is turn number 16 and we are going to Dallas. The Cowboys will be on the attack somewhere. Which way are they going? They're going to the north. And this arrow got as close as it could possibly get to the Kansas City Chiefs, but instead it's going to be the Denver Broncos matched up with the Dallas Cowboys. Now remember, the Broncos expanded and got the prisoner of war power-up, so let me show you how this is going to work. So this wheel right here has all remaining teams except the Broncos on it. Whatever team it lands on, the Broncos will get to take a player and use it for this next game against the Dallas Cowboys. So they're taking a player from the Indianapolis Colts. And the best player on the Colts was Myles Garrett, which means it is his job to act as the prisoner to help the Broncos win this game against the Cowboys. And once the game's over, he goes right back to Indianapolis. You know, I'd like to imagine that Myles Garrett has done his job as the prisoner, because this game is tied up at 20 right now, and the Broncos looking to take the lead on offense on a 2nd down and 3 past the 2-minute warning. Bo Nix keeps the football, looking to find the end zone, but it still picks up 1st and goal to the 4. I mean, because the Cowboys didn't call any timeouts, all that does is just waste more time. Nothing wrong with that. Bo Nix going to keep it again. This time he finds the end zone for a Denver Bronco touchdown. So now it's time to see if the prisoner can do his job. Don't forget, the Broncos already had Max Crosby. That's 2 X factors on the edge against Dak Prescott. Scary hours for the Dallas Cowboys. They do get 8 yards here, but call a timeout. That was Jamar Chase on that catch. O-line has to do their job proficiently here. 3rd and inches coming up. All that does is just waste more valuable time off the clock, but Dak Prescott has an incompletion, 4th and inches. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't run the football here and they just call a timeout afterwards. Almost didn't get it, but they got the first down. Still not calling a timeout. After playing with their thumbs and burning 10 seconds in a timeout, the Cowboys are down to 8 seconds. Almost a strip fumble for Dak Prescott. Only 8 seconds remain for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. I imagine this is the final play. Pass interference or touchdown, either or, nothing. Cowboys lose to the Denver Broncos. So a lot of good players I can reward the Broncos with, but I do think they desperately need a receiver. I'm going to give them CeeDee Lamb. This also means Myles Garrett returns back home to the Colts. And we now have 3 really good players hitting the free agent pool, including Micah Parsons, Zach Martin, and Jamar Chase. I mean, the Cowboys have been slacking these last few episodes. They might lose their title as the #1 Imperialism team. 18 remaining. We're going back to the Washington Commanders, who now have a rookie quarterback at a 99 overall, and they're attacking the South, which leaves only one option: traveling to Charlotte, going against the Carolina Panthers. Wow, our so-called 99 overall quarterback must have got to the game 4 quarters late. I mean, they've only scored 10 points. I'd like to imagine that's going to change as they approach field goal range. Jaden Daniels is going to run for it. He has 99 speed, yet he only picks up 6 yards. So 2nd and 4, Daniels the pass this time again. A completion to Terry McLaurin, which is going to put him to the 17. The Panthers just need this so-called 99 overall quarterback to get in the end zone, but they keep on stopping them. They're wasting their timeouts. Hold up, if the Panthers can actually get a stop here, which they don't. Okay, that's not even an option. Touchdown for the Commanders. Well, negative 99 overall quarterback Bryce Young has 49 seconds to do something. That starts with the first down to the 31. 45 seconds remaining. Bryce Young again. Completion in stride towards the end zone. Extra point ties us up. Xavier Legette on a streak today. Well, surely Jaden Daniels might actually answer back with 3 timeouts. There you have it. Another pass caught in stride, of timeout at the 40. Just like that, overtime doesn't seem like a possibility. Austin Eckler takes the handoff, picks up 5. The Commanders just gave up on getting more yards, so they're taking the kick from the 34, which is probably around a 45-yard kick to win this game 20-17. It is good. So not an impressive win for a 99 overall quarterback, but they got it done. Commanders do win. So Jesse Bates will now be playing for the district, in which the Commanders will now be taking control of a hefty chunk of land. So one more team eliminated, then we get on to our next disaster. Here's the New York Giants. Kinda unfortunate for them to be going up next, because they have a high chance of being eliminated. Well, I gotta say, that's pretty unfortunate. They have proven that they can win games today, but not against good teams. This is their first challenge. It's Josh Allen and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, maybe the Giants have just been that team this episode, but who knows? It's not over yet. 3rd and inches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris has the first down to the 35. Bringing us into the 2-minute warning. Josh Allen couldn't even even get the football off. A sack. It's going to make it 3rd and 12. Brings us to 1:30. Josh Allen to throw on the run. He has a first down inside the Steelers logo at the 49. 45 seconds left. Josh Allen is intercepted. The New York Giants, they get 1 first down. They walk away with a win. Maybe I lied. The New York Giants are that team today. Make it 3 wins on the day for the New York Giants. I mean, there's no reason to reward a team with a quarterback who threw an interception on a supposedly game-winning drive, so TJ Watt is now part of the New York Giants. You know, I was kind of excited to see the Steelers possibly go on a run today, but you know what? Giants run's not so bad either. And with 16 teams remaining, I can already tell you that things are starting to get shaken up. And I mean that literally, because we're getting to our second disaster, the tornado. And what happens under the effects of the tornado is that half the remaining teams now, which is 8, will be swapping places with each other on the map. Okay, so it took about an hour and I created this little program right here. It's pretty simple. It's going to generate 2 teams for us that are remaining on the map, and they're going to swap places. We're going to do this 4 total times to make 8 total teams swap. The first swap is going to be the Packers and the 49ers. So that's our first of 4 swaps. All right, next one up will be the Commanders and Eagles. So 4 total teams have been displaced so far. We need 4 more. All right, the next 2 selected will be the Bears and Cardinals. And that makes 6 out of 8 teams displaced. Which leaves us with our final swap. What 2 teams is it going to be? The Chiefs and the Dolphins. Well, 8 total teams have been displaced because of the tornado, and let's just say this is going to create some crazy dynamics. We now have 2 NFC North teams in California. The Chiefs, they keep their afterlife power, but they're now stuck in Florida. As for the Dolphins, they finally have some freedom. They have a chance for an expansion and even a power-up. So now this is the official look of our map going into the top 16 teams. Half the league is remaining. Who is going to be the one we narrow it down to? So halfway through today, who will kick us off again? The Cardinals, who are now occupying the state of Illinois after swapping with the Bears. And because of that swap, it made these 2 a possible matchup, which is exactly going to happen. The Cardinals traveling to Indianapolis against the Colts. All knotted up, the Colts have the possession at the 8-yard line. Anthony Richardson, of course, is going to run for the touchdown, which is going to take a 6-point lead, make it 7 with the extra point. So now Kyler Murray has a chance to respond with the equalizer, needing a touchdown, staying on the sideline. Good completion to the 46. Down the 90 seconds, Murray keeps on passing the football. There's a flag, but this is going to be caught around the 10-yard line. It's going to be roughing the passer, which is going to move the Cardinals essentially at the goal line, at the 4. Also considered a free timeout. It stops the clock, and this is how the Cardinals will respond with 6 of their own. A touchdown. 3rd down and 3 for the Colts, and completion. Somehow, there was like 3 Cardinals in that. That is a backbreaker for the Cardinals. If they could have got a stop there, we wanted the overtime, but over Buda Baker as well. Mo Alley Cox is the reason we're not seeing an overtime between these teams. Granted that this field goal goes through the uprights. It does. Time has expired. The Colts take down the Arizona Cardinals 24-21. So Colts have made some pretty good acquisitions in their secondary. They started with the Antoine Winfield. Now they're adding X-Factor Derwin James Jr. And this is easily the best I've ever seen the Colts perform in an Imperialism video. So turn number 20. We are going back to the Houston Texans. It's been a minute. Texans are hoping for a power up here. Do they get it? Well, it was close, but you can't complain about an expansion to Mississippi. And about time somebody expanded. Micah Parsons has been sitting in the free agent pool for like at least 6 or 7 turns. We have an expansion to the Texans and they get Micah Parsons. Well, that's a pretty helpful upgrade. We're going to Chicago for the first time today, which is funny because they're not even located in Chicago anymore. Well, Caleb Williams' first ever challenge in Imperialism is going to be a tough one. He has to beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Looks like he has held his ground for the meanwhile, as the Bears and Bengals are in overtime tied at 32. Bears start with the football in overtime as well. First and 10 from the 30. This is DJ Moore with 2nd and inches to the 40. From the 43, Caleb Williams, another first down. This is to the 46. 2nd 11 from the 47. Here's Keenan Allen off to the races. Couldn't break a tackle, but to the 22. They might get stopped at the end zone, however, because it is a 3rd down and 12. Can Caleb Williams convert a pass here? He gets it off, kind of wobbly. Another pass through the uprights. So they have to settle for 3 and then just hope that the Bengals do not find the end zone on their possession in overtime. Good start so far. Burrow once more, of course, and he's going to get a lot of it right here. I believe it's Devontae Adams, but thankfully a game-saving tackle is going to be dropped to the 17. Bengals were just that close to walking this game off with a touchdown, but they can still do it, and they will. Touchdown to win the game for the Cincinnati Bengals. I was hoping to see a lot more of the Chicago Bears today because they are pretty decent now in Madden. You know, it's funny because ever since the Bengals were eliminated, then brought back with a dead rising, they've actually improved their roster. They now have 2 X-Factor receivers, adding on Keenan Brandon Allen. But hopefully the next time we see a Bears in a later on episode, we get to see him go more than once. They just did not have the wheel luck today. Speaking of wheel luck, there's actually several teams who still have not been landed on today, including the Detroit Lions. It definitely sucks because while some teams have gotten better, teams like the Lions have just been sitting here and not gaining any power whatsoever. But they might be able to change some things as they take on the Colts, who might be a better team because of their additions, but the Lions are still strong enough to take them down. They do have to tack on the road, however. I figured this would be a tough game for the Lions. It's a 5-point difference, and this is going to be a first down, which is going to put them inside the 20. Okay, I guess more. Which makes it first and goal from the 8. Can the Colts secondary step up? They will not. Toe-tapping touchdown in the back of the end zone for Jameson Williams to take the lead. I fully imagine this one's going to booth review as they celebrate like crazy. Does this give us a pretty good angle? I don't know. It looked close. No, both feet are in bounds. So Detroit's not in the clear yet. 1 minute remaining for Anthony Richardson to do something. Here's a first down. That's going to help big time. Under 60 seconds. Richardson, another first down. We're getting close to field goal range. At the 41, Richardson is cooking up right now. They're in the field goal range now. It's actually so crazy how unlucky the Detroit Lions are in this series. They're going to lose to the Indianapolis Colts on this field goal, which means the new wide receiver number 1 in Indianapolis is Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, I normally don't feel bad for teams in an episode of Imperialism, but today, the Bears and Lions, I genuinely feel bad. Part of what makes Imperialism fun is that you have teams that you don't expect do good, and the teams you expect to do good don't do good, and the Lions in that case, they just never do good. Here's the Commanders. They should be able to match up with anybody because they have a 99 overall quarterback as they travel towards the west, and they don't get too far going west until they run into New York's land. So we have an NFC East matchup going to East Rutherford once again, but this time it's for the Giants. I'm so convinced that Washington really thinks they're going to win the game, so they just bench Jaden Daniels the entire time. I mean, how do you score 6 points? So now it's time to see the 99 overall quarterback start acting like it. There you have a completion, which is actually a broken tackle, going to be inside Giants territory to the 32. Third and reasonable for the Commanders. Hand off to Eckler. No, it's going to be a pass. It's still going to Eckler. It's a first down. Jaden Daniels to pass with 1 minute as he steps up, completes it, and falling just short at the 1. Let's see if they can first get the 6 they need, followed by the 2. Easy. Terry McLaurin in the flat to make it 12-14. And just like the Lions, they need to do that one more time. This time for 2. Eckler has it. Jaden Daniels is a 99 overall, and they don't let him throw or run. 2-point conversions today have been the difference of so many different games today. So, of course, an onside kick, it is horrible. So the Giants will be taking down the Commanders 14-12. I'm sorry, I don't think the Bloom power-up worked as well as I thought. Literally, Daniel Jones was outperforming Jaden Daniels at 99 overall. I can't let another team have him, so Jesse Bates, you're on the Giants. You know, I actually cannot believe that the Giants and Colts are threats today, but here we are. So we've made it to the top 12, and I believe there's like 6 of these teams who haven't even played a game yet. This episode has been super top heavy. The Houston Texans are back. The Texans are going up north. Well, it took them 2 times, but they finally got it. An expansion to Arkansas to get the clone power-up. So under the effects of the clone power-up, the Texans are going to get a second land area based on what remaining territories they are, and this is going to act as a double life as well, meaning they can lose in their homeland and still have their new territory to attack from. But first, let's give it one of the best right guards in the game for their expansion, that being Zach Martin. So there's only 9 possible unclaimed states that the Texans can move their clone army to. Whatever state it lands on, it's going to be Maine. So this is interesting. The Texans share a border with the Dolphins, Broncos, and Eagles in their mainland, but now they have a second life sharing a border with the New York Giants. So everywhere they go, there is competition. Let's just see how they face the competition. Now, can we see a team we haven't seen today? The Rams, finally, thank you. Gotta feel bad for the Rams as well. They've had no time to stack up players. And it might cost them too because they have to travel into the Orange Abyss, held by the Cincinnati Bengals. This is gonna be a tough game for the Rams. You would like to imagine that playing your first game at turn 23 is a huge disadvantage, but the Rams are holding their ground. They just need a touchdown drive. Matthew Stafford launches one, and it's incomplete. So 3rd down and 4 from their own 26. Stafford to pass again. He wants more than 4 again and overthrows his receiver. So 4th and 4. It comes down to this, just needing 4 yards. Stafford 360 sideline catches there to the 43. Tutu Atwell stops the clock in 1 minute and 20 seconds as well. They get to the 43. Now they get to the 43 in the opposite side of the territory. Tutu Atwell with back-to-back receptions gets him to the 21. Who needs Cooper Kupp? Who needs Puka Nacua when you have... Okay, never mind. Cooper Kupp for the touchdown. We need him. Is 41 seconds and 3 timeouts too much for Joe Burrow? Let's see. Completion first down and more, running to the 20 and stopped at the 18. Timeout called. I don't even remember who this is. I think it's Keenan Allen. And the field goal to win the game for the Bengals. It's through the uprights. The Rams, unfortunately, can't make it any further. And no need to give the Bengals another X-Factor receiver. Let's give them Tre'Davious White. Well, Rams, I guess there's always next episode. Turn 24 with 11 remaining teams. The Chiefs are finally going. Now, if you look back at the map, remember the Chiefs got displaced by the tornado. They swapped with the Dolphins, which only leaves them with one option, being stuck in Florida, and they have to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. However, there's an upside because they still have the Afterlife power-up, which they got forever ago, so even if they lose, they're not eliminated. So neither of these teams have played today, and they've made it to overtime. Chiefs need a field goal to take the lead. Oh, there's a flag, though. What could this be? Okay, well, never mind. The flag does not matter, so the Eagles need at least 3 in overtime, but a touchdown would work, and this is a really good catch to the 45. Solid start in overtime for the Eagles. Blitz incoming. Does not matter. Eagles have a first down, and off to the races to the 20, and tackled at the 15. I don't think you want to get stopped to a field goal here against the Kansas City Chiefs. You need to get this first down. It's 3rd and 2. Jalen Hurts is scrambling out. No, he finds the pass for the touchdown. A.J. Brown wins it against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure Travis Kelce is at peace with this. After all, it is Taylor Swift's home team. Okay, so as we know, Chiefs are not eliminated, which means no land change, and the Afterlife power-up is now gone. So we remain at 11 total teams, where we're going to the New York Giants, who have been an absolute dynasty today as they travel towards the East Coast. And that's going to reward them with a free expansion to Connecticut, which is going to give the Giants their first X-Factor receiver in Jamar Chase. I'm afraid it's a real possibility the Giants could win today. Here's the Dolphins. The Dolphins will be taking their armies to the north, and somebody has finally claimed the Double Trouble power-up in Iowa. So a very simple power-up to explain. Essentially, every game this team wins, they get to steal 2 players rather than 1. And the player they get for expansion will be 96 overall tackle Penei Sewell. This leaves only 1 power-up left to be unclaimed. We're going back to Cincinnati. Bengals are attacking north as well, and this gives us our 3rd expansion in a row, this time to Wyoming. And so the Bengals will pick up Quinnen Williams. So how long will it take until we see a game? We're going back to Miami, which this time the Dolphins will be going north again. What's up with all the north attacking? Canada did nothing wrong. Well, in this case, we're not making it to Canada because going up north from Miami's new land, they actually hit San Francisco in Wisconsin. What a mouthful. And this is the first game the Niners are going to play today. They've just been watching from the shadows with their super stacked Avengers team. And one more thing, keep in mind if the Dolphins win, they get to steal 2 players from the 49ers. Looks like we got another overtime game, this time between the Dolphins and the 49ers. Dolphins start with the football, and Tyreek Hill on a jet pass goes nowhere. 3rd down and 7. This time they get the first down to Tyreek Hill, going up the field rather than jet passing it. That works. Another 3rd down on this opening overtime drive. Nick Bosa trying to get the Tua plenty of time. Why is he trying to run for that? And because Tua is still apparently recovering from the brain injuries he got a couple years ago, that knocks them out of field goal range. They punt the football to the Niners. Luckily, it's a good punt. It lands at the 7. So now the Dolphins defense have to stop an Avenger level threat from going down the field and at least getting 3 points on the opening drive in overtime. Brock Purdy alone has a completion to Christian McCaffrey, already racing to the 40-yard line. Well, I'd say this is probably the last chance to get a stop before the Niners get 20 more yards off the feet of Christian McCaffrey. From the 27, another catch. Do not tell me that's Christian McCaffrey. Okay, it's the other white boy, George Kittle. 3rd and 8 for the 49ers. Dolphins just need an interception, and they're not going to get it. It's a touchdown to walk off the game for San Francisco. Deebo Samuel. Yeah, this is kind of like when the Avengers recruited Captain Marvel for Avengers Endgame. This is just wildly unfair. And I gotta say, the Double Trouble power-up has not been really that impressive these last few episodes, but to be fair, it works 100% a lot better when it's claimed earlier on, not at turn 25 or whatnot. So that brings us to the final 10 teams. We have 1 power-up remaining, and we have 1 team with 2 lives, that being the Texans. But in total, there's the Packers, Bengals, Broncos, Texans, Niners, Colts, Eagles, Chiefs, Ravens, Giants. You got that? So, the top 10. Here is the Denver Broncos. So what do the Broncos decide to do? Ooh, oh no. There's a reason the Broncos are the CEOs of expanding. They're just so good at it. They're somehow managed to escape the Bengals and Niners, who have them entrapped in this little position right now. But nope, they're taking South Dakota. So we're bringing back the no-fly zone for Denver because here's Jalen Ramsey, the 2nd X-Factor cornerback. Yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be a matchup. Finally, we get to see the Ravens. This now means we have seen every single team today. The Ravens are going towards the west. Actually, we did see the Ravens expand today, but they're going to be doing it again as they're going to claim West Virginia. And I'm going to give them Josh Hines Allen because he's an X factor. The Ravens have yet to play today, which is what I meant to say, but here's the Green Bay Packers. Haven't seen them in such a long time. They only have 2 options, and I think that's against the Bengals. Well, best of luck to my squad, the Green Bay Packers, as they travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, who literally have the best receivers ever. Second game today for the Green Bay Packers. They need a touchdown. Jordan Love, first down. Low-key, this receiving room is kind of stacked too, and they have Justin Jefferson from earlier, but Jordan Love just gets steam-piled. The offensive line just completely forgot their job there. Jordan Love now on 2nd and 18, trying to get all back, and he does to Justin Jefferson to the 32. Half a minute remaining on 3rd and 3. Blitz incoming for the Bengals, but that leaves somebody uncovered like Justin Jefferson. 1st and goal to the 5. Let's try that again. 2nd and goal from the 5. This time much easier. Justin Jefferson with the touchdown. All right, so we made it to overtime. Packers have won the toss. Do they take the football first? They will. First possession of overtime from the 44. Jordan Love drops back on 2nd and 4. Plenty of time to throw the football, and of course he finds a completion. So 3rd down and 11 to stay alive on the first overtime possession. That's well short, and it's incomplete. Green Bay will have to settle for 3 points. That being, if they make this kick, it's quite the distance, and they get it. Burrow lines up empty. He's looking to pass the football and completes this one. Is this a run for the end zone? Tackled at the 1. I'd imagine this is the end of the Packers in this video. Moss takes it in for the end zone, the walk-off touchdown, and the Bengals have won 5 games today. The Bengals already have 2 X-Factor receivers, so I figured I'd even it up and give them 2 X-Factor quarterbacks, now Jair Alexander. Yeah, ever since Green Bay got moved out west, I just knew they didn't have a chance, but at least they made the top 10. So one more elimination before our final disaster. The Broncos are up again. I don't think the Broncos can escape a matchup this time. Nope. So they're going straight into San Francisco 49ers land, but they do get the claim a prisoner out of the teams we have remaining. So who will become the next prisoner of war? It's gonna be a person on the Niners. So this is funny. The Broncos are taking Christian McCaffrey under captive to play against his actual team. Win or lose, he's going right back to the 49ers. I wonder what they think about this. So far, holding McCaffrey as the prisoner has worked as he takes the handoff right here. All the Niners need to do is to stop the Broncos from getting a field goal or 0 points at all. It's a 3rd and 6. First down would be backbreaking for the Niners. It's a check down to McCaffrey. Does he have enough for the first down? He does. What a traitor. This dude is literally taunting on his teammates right now. If Broncos get another first down, this game's over. Oh, how does it feel, Christian McCaffrey? I'm sure he feels that every practice anyways. So 3rd down and 10 for Bo Nix, and the Broncos gonna pass again to Christian McCaffrey on a check down. They're just using him up, and it's gonna be 4th down and 3. So the smart decision to take a field goal. This will make it an 8-point game, and the Niners only have a minute with 0 timeout. So the kick is up. It is good. So Brock Purdy has 55 seconds to work with, and a completion. Good pass to Brandon Ayuk, who I'm surprised is still a 49er. Quick huddle, 30 seconds remaining, staying short to George Kittle, but we're staying in bounds. Not what we want to do. That leaves Brock Purdy with one final play, and it has to go towards the end zone. Quarterbacks have been really bad at this all day. It's a fumble. The Denver Broncos recover, and they beat the 49ers. All thanks to them holding their player like they're some terrorist organization. Well, I guess since the Broncos won, they just get to keep Christian McCaffrey? I wouldn't exactly say freed. More like under new management. But now that the Niners are eliminated, let's take a look at some of the players in the free agent pool. Tyreek Hill, Trent Williams, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Penei Sewell, Nick Bosa, Brandon Ayuk. Oh my goodness. It is crazy to think that the Broncos are making the top 8, but actually winning games this time. They usually make it this far just by expanding. Well, now with the final 8 teams, it's time to make sure every single team has their heads up. And I mean that literally. Have your head up, because our final disaster is in effect. It's a meteor shower. Okay, so this one might be a little hard to explain, but essentially meteors are going to fall in the sky and land on completely random teams. Now each meteor has an attribute assigned to it that's going to upgrade this team, and they act as permanent power-ups, which means they stay there for the entire map, meaning if a team knocks off the team that holds a meteor, then they take over the meteor as well. Okay, so here's the 4 meteors we have. As you can see, they all land a 99 overall of whatever position it says. So we spin it one time. Our first meteor landing will be the 99 defensive end meteor. And which team will it land on? The Indianapolis Colts. So the first meteor has landed. It's going to grant the Colts a 99 rated defensive end, which is going to bump Kwity Paye up to a 99 overall. So the next meteor to fall will be the 99 overall cornerback, landing on the Giants. So the meteor has landed, and because they already have Sauce Gardner, this is going to boost Deonte Banks up to a 99 overall. Next two are both for the offense. It's going to be the 99 running back going to the Cincinnati Bengals. So it lands up in Washington, which is going to make Zach Moss a 99 overall. Really good. This dude scored many touchdowns today. So this leaves us with our final Meteor, the 99 receiver. And which team will be lucky enough to get this one? The Houston Texans. So all Meteors have landed, in which my rule for this is I'm not allowed to make any X Factors or Superstars the 99 overall. So Tank Dell is the 99 overall receiver in Houston. So looking back at the map, yes, these Meteors are permanent, which means they're going to stay there for the entire game now. And teams can also have multiple at one time. Whenever a new team takes control of one of them, they get the same benefits that they say on the Meteor itself. So let's finish off this episode with our final 8 teams. Final 8 teams on turn 28. Here is the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are attacking towards their southeast. So it seems as the Houston Texans will finally be playing another game, the first time since turn number 2. Now the Denver Broncos, of course, they have to claim a prisoner. So our next prisoner will be from the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. My condolences go to the Houston Texans. Well, I guess Patrick Mahomes has done his job correctly as the prisoner, as they have a lead over the Texans, but it's a 3rd down and 8 for CJ Stroud, and here comes some pressure, but he gets it off, and incomplete. 4th and 8 of the 2-minute warning. Wow, Houston has all 3 timeouts, and they want to go for it in 4th and 8, I guess because Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback on the other side, but it works! Completely burned Stephon Diggs! It is a house call for 6 points, a touchdown for the Texans. So out comes Patrick Mahomes with Christian McCaffrey to his left and CeeDee Lamb as wide receiver number 1. C-Mac takes the first handoff, nothing. Mahomes on 2nd down and 10, intercepted by the Texans, and they'll be in field goal range. I wonder if the prisoner sold on purpose. Who wants to play in Denver? 2 X Factors on defense for the Broncos. Maybe they can get a pick right back, running the football on the ground. Fumble! Joe Mixon fumbles the football. No one has it. It's recovered by Patrick Surtain, and he's returning out of the 28. What is happening this game? Looks like the Texans are challenging the rule on the field. I guess Joe Mixon might have been down with his knee. Wow, the call has been reversed, which means the Texans will keep the football 2nd and 6 in field goal range. So that means the Denver Broncos gotta hope they do that one more time. Joe Mixon runs into his own offensive lineman. Denver's gonna need a stop here. They're still running the football, and it's picked up. You could not let them get that 1st down. No timeouts left for Denver. And now just a short punch and kick for the Texans to eliminate the Denver Broncos, who've had a really good run this video, but the Texans will steal a player and they'll take control of their land. The NFL does love Patrick Mahomes, so maybe they can give him a pass interference or an actual completion, but he couldn't break one more tackle. Game over. Texans win 34-31. Well, Joe Mixon, that fumble should be enough. Your job has now been replaced by Christian McCaffrey. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes, who completely sold as the prisoner for Denver. He's going back to Kansas City. Can we take a minute to talk about how special the Broncos roster was today? I mean, they had Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Patrick Surtain, Max Crosby, and honestly, all thanks to the Prisoner of War power-up, which is a power-up I'll definitely be returning in the series. I loved it. But now the Texans will take control of a huge slab of land. I have never been more proud of the Denver Broncos in this series. Here's the Indianapolis Colts. It's been a minute since we've last seen the Colts dynasty. What do they decide to do? Going south? Well, directly under the Colts logo is Alabama, under the control of the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're traveling to Philadelphia, even though the Eagles don't even have Philadelphia anymore for this matchup. So if Colts want to get this football back, they got to get stops on this possession right here. Saquon Barkley has another handoff, picks up 3, first timeout called. I'd imagine these will be 2 more runs with Barkley, and it's going to be around 3rd and 6, I imagine. Can the Colts force one more stop? They're going to pass the football, and it's dropped. We had 2 receivers running the same route, and it's 4th down and 6. Eagles got a punt. Richardson with 1 minute remaining, crossing to Michael Pittman. This is a 1st down. He can't get out of bounds. They got 45 seconds and 1 timeout. They go 56 yards. Richardson, completion, 1st down to the 40, almost staying on his feet. I honestly can't remember what receiver that is. I think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. That burns to 19 seconds where Richardson almost takes a sack, but he escapes it. Will he get out of bounds? He'll run for the 1st down, steps out at the 18 with 12 seconds. They cannot have anything infield. This has to get to the end zone or the sidelines. Richardson's going to run again. Can he get to the end zone? He slides to the 4. They call their final timeout. 6 seconds. This is going to be the final play for the Indianapolis Colts. It needs to be in the end zone. Richardson to run for the angle. Touchdown with zeros. The Colts win. I don't know how they keep on doing it, man. The Colts are on a dynasty legacy run right now. It's a walk-off 26-24. And now Travis Kelce will be going to Indianapolis. And so now the Colts will be traveling towards the East Coast. It's been a 5-win day for the Indianapolis Colts. Put that in perspective, the Colts all time in this series have only won 3 games. So yeah, safe to say they've done pretty good. And here's the Baltimore Ravens. They're the only team left to not play a game, and they can't expand this time. They have to play. I think this is against the Colts. So yes, the Ravens will be on the attack for the first time today against the Colts. Will the Colts make it 6? So starting from their own 20, the first game today, the Ravens need a touchdown against the Colts. That's a good start to get them to the 42. Even without winning games, the Ravens are still really stacked. This one's intercepted, and it might be a pick 6 for the Indianapolis Colts. Lamar Jackson couldn't chase him down. The Colts will take a 2-possession lead. Derwin James Jr. on the interception to the house. I was just about to say the Ravens are stacked as they are. They don't need to win games, but point proven differently. Derwin James jumps Nelson Aguilar for a lead. You gotta be kidding me. Lamar Jackson was intercepted again. I think this is gonna be another pick 6. Are you serious? What kind of fight did the Ravens even put up? I'm glad they didn't play any games till now. Wow, what a time to see our first ever kick return touchdown. I was waiting for this the entire day, and of course the Ravens down by 20 points get it done, which wouldn't matter at all because the Colts still win 42-31, which will give the Colts the X-Factor running back Derrick Henry. And you know, to be fair, that's kind of what happens when you expect to make it this far in Imperialism without playing a single game. So that brings us down to our final 5. The Bengals, Texans, Colts, Giants, and Chiefs. Kind of weird to say, but the only team that shouldn't be here is, well, the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, ever since the tornado hit Kansas City, it kind of messed up their run in this video. They used to have an afterlife. They were sitting pretty in Kansas City, and now they're just stuck in Florida once again, and they have to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Can the Colts make it 7? Indianapolis are fighting to stay alive against Kansas City, needing a touchdown. Anthony Richardson's been running all day, stiff arm, and going to be down around the 12. So 3rd and 3, Richardson to pass, end zone, touchdown, no, out of bounds, 4th and 3. Looks like the Colts are going to challenge if Amon-Ra St. Brown had both feet in bounds. I don't know, it looked closer there. There's 1 and then 2. That's a touchdown. And the call has been reversed, so this extra point to make it a 3-point game. Mahomes gets the ball back. Yes, that's Patrick Mahomes. I forgot to change his number. So he's number 9 right now, and that's going to be a completion to the 46. It's because when I swapped him, they didn't give him back 15. Time should not be an issue for the Kansas City Chiefs unless Mahomes will take a sack for a loss of 9 yards. Myles Garrett coming in fast for 3rd and 19. That could be a backbreaker if they cannot get this first down, but Mahomes will get it anyways to the 40. 60 seconds left. Mahomes passing again, and I think a touchdown is in sight for the Chiefs as they take a lead over the Colts. Well, now Anthony Richardson has to go down the field with 1 minute remaining and 3 timeouts and score a touchdown himself. So first down for Richardson, and that's a pass completed to the 33. Timeout called. Richardson to run for it this time. This is probably going to pick up the first down. Oh, he fumbles. Oh, it goes out of bounds at the 23. Colts are lucky to still have possession. Now from the 13, staying short. This should be a first down inside the 10. They call their final timeout at the 7. He did it against the Eagles defense. Can he do it against the Chiefs defense? From the 12, 25 seconds. Richardson steps up. Can he make it towards the end zone? He's gonna try, and touchdown Colts. They have a lead. This is the greatest Imperialism performance I have ever seen. Anthony Richardson is him. Kansas City's not dead yet. With 3 timeouts and 21 seconds, Patrick Mahomes can definitely get a field goal with that. They need a solid return, and it's gonna be around the 27. We know what happened the last time Mahomes had 13 seconds. This is another completion that's gonna burn a timeout. 10 seconds to the 42. I'd say about 20 more yards would get us in the clear. Mahomes gets all 20 of them right there. First down to the 32. So about a 45-yard kick for Harrison. Get back in the kitchen, Butker. Can he drill this through? Yes, 38 apiece. We have overtime. Indianapolis starts with the football in overtime, but not to a good start. 3rd and 11 for Anthony Richardson to pass from the 24. Steps up, slings this one towards the left sideline, and Michael Pittman has a touchdown. What is happening? You cannot make this up. Are we just witnessing like the best simulation game I've literally ever seen? I mean, what is this? But now they'd be able to stop number 9 Mahomes. He's a different breed. He's still got his X factor too. From the 32, first down. Passing from the 43-yard line, Mahomes, and gets this one off for a first down to the 33. Can the Colts make a defensive stand? 3rd and 5 for Mahomes, and intercepted. Okay, there's a flag though, but let's see what it is. Right now, it's a pick for the Colts. Will this be a game winner? What's the penalty on? It's going to be pass interference on the defense. The Chiefs will keep possession. This game literally has everything. From the 17, I think this is a touchdown to Hollywood Brown. Yes, it is. And now they need an extra point to tie. Honestly, I would go for 2 because there's just no way you can stop the Colts from scoring. It's going to be sudden death from here on out. Anthony Richardson has to score here. You cannot give the football back to X Factor Mahomes. 2nd and 10, handoff to Derrick Henry. Oh, this is going to be 3rd down and long. Not good. You can't be messing up now. 3rd and 8, need a completion. Derrick Henry takes the check down, first down. That gets him to the 39, faking the handoff. Richardson to run for it once again. He has a first down across midfield, hold on to the football, good, to the 44. I'd say 10 more yards for a comfortable field goal. Richardson completes this one for 9. All right, now just do not turn over the football. Derrick Henry runs inside the 30. We're in range. And so a 33-yard kick to end one of the greatest games I have ever seen in the simulation feature. The Colts make it 7 today, winning 48-45 in overtime. This is literally the greatest run I have ever seen. There's no reason right now to replace Richardson with Mahomes, so I'm gonna give him Chris Jones. Richardson has just been balling out today. Well, everything was perfect for the Chiefs until the tornado hit. They lost their afterlife power-up and they lost their chance in this video. The Colts are just way too dominant. And weirdly enough, the 4 teams that remain are all the 4 teams that got selected to have a Meteor, so no Meteor swaps yet. That also makes it 3 in a row for the Colts, but we're going back to the Bengals. They have control of the entire West Coast. Do they expand or fight the Texans? It's gonna be close. Well, the Bengals just barely missed out on an expansion to Montana, so instead they have to play against the Houston Texans in Houston. Well, Bengals just need a few first downs and they might be able to pull off a stunner. Here's Joe Burrow on a slant. That's gonna be close to the first down marker, 3rd and 2. Keenan Allen on the catch. I'd imagine they run the football. No, Burrow wants to pass, and this is a first down. I believe Devontae Adams. Now, for real this time, Bengals need one more first down, so they're starting to run the football. Keep in mind, Zach Moss is a 99 overall running back because of the asteroid. Look as he breaks tackles, but he just barely couldn't pick up the first down. Joe Burrow to pass on 3rd and 2. Devontae Adams, first down, and the final timeout has been called by the Texans. Bengals would close out, winning 27-21. Yes, I know the Bengals got the running back Meteor, but an X-Factor 99 overall is so much better. Christian McCaffrey goes to the Bengals. And now essentially the Bengals take control of everything west of the Mississippi. That land also did come with a wide receiver Meteor, which means T. Higgins is transforming into a 99 overall. But remember, the Texans are not eliminated. They just attack from their second clone land area now, which is located in Maine. Low-key, I forgot there's still a power-up on the board. I don't think we'll see it. We're back to the Houston Texans. Well, just like the Chiefs in Florida, there's no escape. Maine as well is only blocked by 1 entry, and this time it's held by the New York Giants, which means the Texans are traveling on to the New York Giants. Whoever wins clinches a spot in the top 3. Texans come out on the field from the 13-yard line and already at the 40. They just need a field goal considering they're trailing by 2 points. This is a slant for Stephon Diggs, which gives them into Giants territory. Giants are calling timeouts now. So CJ Stroud to pass from the 43 up the middle. Another completion, this time to the 31. 2nd and 8, running the football with Mixon, and this is going to be a 3rd down and long, which the Giants have to stop him here. All the Giants can hope for is a turnover. It's going to be a pass by CJ Stroud, and it's intercepted. Oh my goodness, why not just run the football? And guess who? The 99 overall cornerback because of the Meteor, Deonte Banks. I mean, seriously, that might be the sell of the century. You're in field goal range and you just run the football once. This game is essentially over. The choke of the century goes to the Houston Texans. So the Giants will add Micah Parsons. I mean, it's one thing to lose once in Imperialism, but back-to-back losses, that hurts. Well, this might be the craziest final 3 we have ever seen. The Colts, the Bengals, and the Giants. Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, this is the most deserving final 3. These 3 teams have over half the wins in today's episode as we're going back to the New York Giants. They actually have a chance to get the Bandit power-up, which would be insane if they do. I don't think they will, though. They will not, unfortunately, so this leaves us with our second to last game being the Giants versus the Colts, which means the Bengals have clinched the championship game. We're going to Indianapolis. Well, it looks as the Colts cannot pick up one final first down, which means they're punting the football to the Giants, up by 7, which means Daniel Jones has to have a game-tying drive. I cannot believe that this quarterback made it this far in this video. I mean, the reason the Giants made it this far because they actually have really good defensive players. I mean, look at Daniel Jones already taking a sack. Jamar Chase did get out of bounds, so it stops the clock, fortunately, but 3rd and 6, Jones should have been intercepted. 4th and 6. Game's on the line here, needs 6. Jones to pass, dropping back to the 20, completes it, and more after the catch. We're inside Colts territory at the 42. Down to 40 seconds to pass the football again. Daniel Jones has another first down. Great sideline reception. I thought for sure Chris Olave got out of bounds, but I guess not, so there's only 13 seconds remaining, so Jones is going to get sacked, and this is probably going to end the game. Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to get to the line. Zeros are on the clock, and the Colts have clinched their way to the championship game, beating the Giants 32-25. And so the final player steal today will be Micah Parsons going to the Colts. And then there were 2. But you can see there was a Meteor on New York's land, which was the 99 overall cornerback, which will make Kenny Moore on the Colts a 99 overall. But yeah, anyways, this spin right here is super important because it's going to determine who's home or who's away. Who's the attacking team is what we're figuring out right now. The Bengals will be on the attack. They do have a chance at expansion. Let's just make sure that doesn't happen. I don't think it will. And sure enough, that's a dead shot for the Colts, which means our final game will be played in Indianapolis. Who is going to win Imperialism Madden 25 edition? So the Bengals have a chance to take a lead as they're at the 4-yard line, first down and goal, and a handoff for a touchdown. So they're going to take the lead 22-21 with 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Now, this is a very important 2-point conversion. It would make it a field goal difference. From the 2-yard line, Joe Burrow to pass in the flat. Devontae Adams has it. The Colts should have plenty of time to answer with points. Here goes Anthony Richardson running for like the 100th time today. Say goodbye to a precious 30 seconds, faking the handoff to Derrick Henry. Anthony Richardson has got to get rid of that football. I mean, this dude has been balling all episode, and now he decides to choke on the big stage. Needing 18 yards, never mind, he gets it. He didn't choke here. First down to the 41. And it's Travis Kelce with the reception. That's the Anthony Richardson I remember seeing today. He's going to pass again, and this is another completion. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Richardson, and intercepted by the Bengals. Oh, this is not good. There is 3 timeouts. It's Levante David with the pick. So now the Colts have to get a stop here. Christian McCaffrey takes the handoff. Not a good start. So 2 more stops needed for the Colts. Not going to get it. Christian McCaffrey threads up the needle, and it's first down to the 29. And so victory formation has come out for the Bengals. And to put the cherry on top, with zeros counting down on the board for our winner of Madden 25 NFL Imperialism, the Cincinnati Bengals have done it. Honestly, all I can think about right now is what an insane run by the Colts, but what a win for the Bengals too. They literally came back from the dead this episode. Well, with that being said, we have narrowed it down to one single team, and now for the best part, filling in the map with Bengal Orange. And after a completely insane episode, I'm proud to say we have crowned our winner, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, don't go just yet, because as you might know, I like to keep stats and a record of every single team in the history of this series. All their wins, losses, and everything. Let's go to that right now. Okay, so I'm sure you might remember this screen from the intro of the video. This is a breakdown on how I keep track of the leaderboard. So I created a metric called Imperialism Points, and it's based on the 5 criteria listed right here. That includes turns lasted, wins, losses, expansions, and an Imperialism episode win, and you can see the amount of points it equals for all 5 of those. So just for an example, let's just say the Kansas City Chiefs have this stat line right here, then that would equal out to 243 Imperialism points. Now, do keep in mind, what I'm about to show you will be an accumulation of stats for the last 10 NFL Imperialism episodes, so there will be spoilers. If you want to go back and watch it, I should have a playlist. But that being said, let's take a look, starting from 32 to 24. Alright, so the very bottom page, what do we start with? I know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are horrible in this series. They only have 22 Imperialism points, 82 turns lasted, on a 3-10 record with 2 expansions, not even close to 31st, which is the Detroit Lions to my surprise. Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of these teams, and these teams just do not deserve to be here. And honestly, I know why they are here. It's just because of geography. They're in really tough locations. You're talking about the Lions. They're in Michigan, and they have really good teams close to them, including the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers share a border with the Eagles and Bills. That's going to be tough. The Browns share a border with the Bengals. There's a reason why these teams are this far down, but it still doesn't make sense. So you can see the Jets are trending down 3, the Jaguars stayed the same, and the Vikings trending down 6 now. But the Colts, after a heroic legacy run today, which I will never forget, they only went up 6 spots. That just shows you how bad they were before this episode. I'm glad it happened for them. And now you can see they're like the Angel Reese of Imperialism. They have a double-double. They have 10 wins and 10 losses on 138 turns lasted, and that's 32 through 25. Moving up to 24 to 17, we start with the Saints, who lost twice today because they had a second chance with a zombie apocalypse, and it wasn't enough. They're trending down 7 spots. Bears going down 1. Yeah, the Rams and Cardinals going up. The Falcons, even though they had the blitz, still going down 2. The Eagles, who lasted pretty long today, they just didn't win a lot of games, so they're going up 2. Then the Commanders, and then the Titans fall down into this category. Overall, nothing too crazy, but you can see that every team on this board right now, they're not staying the same. A lot of movement on this side of the graphic. But I'll give you one more second to look at this. Pause if you need to. Let's go and move up to the second half of the league, starting with 16 up to 9. Alright, so now some heavy hitters coming in. Let's start with the New York Giants, though, who were pretty bad before this episode, but trending up 10 spots. That's the most today. They made it into the top 16 on a 10-10-4 record. The New England Patriots are still up there because of their expansions. The Texans, who did pretty good today, they're going up 2. Panthers, to my surprise, still pretty solid. They have a triple-double at 11-11-10. Seahawks stay the same. And then you have the Bills, Chiefs, and Chargers all trending down. But as you can see, here's a spoiler because the Seahawks won an episode and the Chargers won an episode, but they didn't even scratch the top 8. So now it's time to take a look at the top 8. who is at the very top. And of course, it is still the Dallas Cowboys. We'll get to that in a second. But how about the Denver Broncos? They're back in the top 8. They used to be up here, but that was because I used to count expansions as 10 points, and I used to go by turns lasted, not the new metric Imperialism points. So it's good to see them back in the top 8. Now they finally kind of deserved it, even though they're negative. Matter of fact, they're the only team on the top 8 that hasn't won an episode yet. The Raiders are above them at 9, 9, and 6. Then you have the Green Bay Packers, and then a few teams trending down because the Bengals jumped up a lot. The Ravens, the Dolphins, and the 49ers. But the Cincinnati Bengals have become the first ever team in NFL Imperialism to not only get 20 wins, but to get 2 Imperialism wins. But it's still not enough to take down the #1 team, the Dallas Cowboys, who have been at the top of the leaderboards ever since I started stat keeping this. However, the gap is getting smaller. It used to be like 100 points. Now the Bengals have made it just about 30. So there's a chance that next episode the Cowboys could finally be dethroned of the #1 spot. And I would say going forward, to be in the top 8, you need to be a part of the 300 club going into next episode. But we also have 2 teams in the 400 club, of course, the Bengals and Cowboys. Well, that concludes today's NFL Imperialism episode. I just want to take a minute to talk about some things. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for watching this series, because as you can see, this was episode 10 of the mainline series. Sure, there's been more Imperialism episodes, but the fact that this is still a very popular high demand series, even with Imperialism being such an oversaturated concept now, which honestly no one's to blame except myself. I literally created this idea. But I mean, it's just nice to see that you guys still enjoy this. And it's not going anywhere, because the plan is for the football season, I'm going to have an episode per month. So basically 5 or 6 more going into this football season. This is the first. I have some cool ideas and some things returning as well. But I just appreciate any ideas you guys give me. Power-up ideas, disaster ideas, I love to read those, and I've definitely incorporated them. I never give credit, which is something I need to start doing. But any ideas, I would love it. So thank you guys for watching another Imperialism video. They're not going anywhere. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.